Hello CNC students, Mr. Cowley here again. Today we're going to talk about some more advanced math. This is actually some trigonometry functions, and normally when I say trigonometry, students get a little freaked out, but I don't want you to freak out. I'm going to show you very simply how to do it. There's only 3 formulas to know for this, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this on a calculator, which makes it very simple. Very easy to do. At the end of this video, I'll post a shot of these formulas so you don't have to memorize them, and we're going to show you exactly how to do it. First off, I have this set up for a TI-30X calculator. That calculator looks just like this. It's a calculator I've had in my toolbox for years. It's a pretty standard calculator that costs literally less than $10. It's a great tool to add to your toolbox right away. Every machinist definitely needs a calculator, and we're going to use this. So it's a TI-30, and what we're going to work on today is how do we find an angle if we only know 2 sides? Okay? And these are the formulas. We're going to talk about those in a minute. But first thing we've got to do is we've got to talk some nomenclature, so different parts of our triangle. First off, we notice this little square in the corner. That square indicates what? That it's a right triangle. That's right. So it's a right triangle. We also need to name our sides. Okay? So the hypotenuse is always the longest side, and it's always the side directly opposite the right angle. That one's easy to identify. These other 2 are called the opposite and adjacent. Now those can be called either one depending on which angle we're trying to find. So in this case, let's say we're trying to find this angle. So if we want to find this angle, the side that's opposite the angle, straight across from the angle, is our opposite side. So if it's opposite the angle, it's the opposite side. And if it is adjacent or touching the angle, then it's our adjacent side. So if we were to change this and say we want to calculate for this angle, then this becomes the opposite side and this becomes the adjacent side. And we're going to try a couple different ones of those here right on the board. And I'm going to walk you through it on the calculator, and you'll be able to see how this works. The first thing we have to know is which sides and which angle do we want to calculate for. So let's just try one. So let's say we want to know this angle of this right triangle. So which side is our hypotenuse? It's this longest side, the side across from here. Which is our adjacent side? So this will be our adjacent side because it's adjacent to the angle. And this is our opposite side. So let's just go ahead and give these some numbers right here. I'm just going to put some numbers in it, and then we're going to solve it. So let's just say this is 4 inches, and our adjacent side is 6 inches. Okay? So let's come over and look at our formulas. These are the 3 formulas you need. And you'll notice I put some black boxes around certain symbols. Those black boxes represent the physical button that you're going to push on your TI-30 calculator. So this first one says the opposite divided by the hypotenuse will equal, we have to hit the second button and then the sign button. So, can we use that formula here? Well, no, because we don't know the hypotenuse in this triangle. So how about this one? The adjacent divided by the hypotenuse equals second cosine. Well, same here. We do not know the hypotenuse. But our third formula down here, we do know our opposite and our adjacent side. So because we know those, we solve it, we'll get this angle. So let's do that on our calculator. So the opposite is 4. We're going to divide that by our adjacent, which is 6. We're going to hit equals, the second button, and tangent. So our angle, our unknown angle here, this is symbol for angle, is going to equal 33.690 degrees. So this angle now equals 33.69 degrees. Now if we know that, we could easily solve for what this angle is, but let's not do that. Let's change some numbers up and we'll figure for another problem. So in this case, let's leave the adjacent as it is. And I'll give you a number for the hypotenuse. Let's just say this hypotenuse is 10 inches long. So now we know our adjacent side and our hypotenuse, which would be the second formula here. So let's solve for that. And you notice I haven't changed the angle, right? So our adjacent is going to be 6 inches divided by our hypotenuse, which is 10 inches, equals second cosine. So in this problem, our angle is going to equal 53.130 degrees. So now our angle is 53.130 degrees. Simple enough, right? Let's do one more, and just to make it interesting, let's change our angle. So that means we're going to solve for this angle. Okay, that's our unknown, which means this becomes our opposite side, and this becomes our adjacent side. So the one formula we haven't used is the top one. It's the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. So let's give me a number down here of 6 inches for our opposite. So we can use our force formula. So our opposite is 6 divided by the hypotenuse of 10 equals second sine. So that angle, so now we're talking about this angle up here, is going to equal 36.870 rounded off. And if you remember, our angle before that was 53.13. If you were to add those up, they would equal 90 degrees, which is what it should equal, right? So if I know this is 36.87 degrees, we can also solve this for this other angle, right? Because we know all angles in a triangle equal 180. So 180 minus 36.87 minus our 90 degrees here, that's going to equal 53.13 degrees for this side. So pretty simple way. I know trigonometry can be a scary word, but we're going to have these simple formulas. I'm going to do a second video how to find an angle if you know an angle on one side. So that one will come follow up. So keep working hard, keep studying. I'll put a picture of this formulas on the end of this video, and you guys will be able to have it forever. So appreciate it. Keep making chips.